felonious charges. The one thing that I really need to get out is the bottom line, the whole defense to their whole reasoning, the whole ideology behind this event that was coming from the college Republicans and coming from YAF was that we are in a country that promotes free speech. Everybody that's standing with me right now was exercising their right to free speech and got arrested for it. And that's just something that I can't deal with myself. I don't know who to ask. I don't know. Like I did see administration there, and they did nothing. You know, they did nothing. They just stood there and watched their students be harassed. And I don't really see why they're not here right now, or why don't we have any more presence from the people that we need to be talking to. It just seems like any time that this situation comes up, especially with the group of students that I choose to fight, you know, for the right, you know, causes with, it seems that we're always a target, and nobody ever looks at the cause. At the root of the problem really is the college Republicans, really is Young Americans for Freedom. They are the ones that are inciting all of these problems. I don't think it's that hard to see. I think anybody could notice that. Anybody from the outside looking in could understand that. And then I'm looking for answers. I want my university officials to explain to me why these things keep happening. Why do they keep defending the opposite side? Why do they keep defending murderers? Really, I mean, I don't know if anybody else out there has done their research on Minuteman and on Chris Simcox, but if you do, I wish you would. If you do, you'll find exactly why we're protesting. You'll find the information that we found. You know, you'll be enlightened the way we were enlightened. And I want to know. I want some answers. I want my university officials to explain to me why this keeps happening to me. Why was I choked by a police officer? Why did it take 8 police officers to take me down? I'm not that big of a guy. I wasn't really, you know, causing any problems like that. My voice was a little loud, and that's about it. But you got to expect that from me. My dad is an illegal immigrant, so this hits close to home. So I need some answers. I want my school to answer some questions for me, and that's what I'm here for.
My voice is a little raspy. I'm sorry to all of you who have to endure this. I just got to say a couple of things. One thing I want to make very clear is that yesterday, in a majority white audience, 5 people were arrested, 5 people were targeted, and 5 people were arrested. And they all happen to be Mexican-American people here in the United States who are going to be adamant, just like anybody else would, about protesting somebody who's murdering their people on the border. We need to really ask today for accountability from our administrative officials and from our police force here at MSU, you know, the DPPS. DPPS, when the students confronted them last night about their racism, several of the police officers giggled and smirked when we accused them of racism. This is not the type of response we need in this kind of atmosphere, and when people are being racially targeted, when people are being stalked at their homes, when people are being profiled, and people are getting harassed and choked, and not to mention, you know, all kinds of physical violence directed towards us by the police officers. The last thing we need for them is a smirk when we bring up accusations of racism. Now, one thing I want to talk about right now is the fact that the university, in every single way, is letting down their students of color. And that goes without saying. Let's just think about this. We have Catch an Illegal Immigrant Day that YAF started long ago that they wanted to have. They have a year long of bigoted antics, of all sorts of racist events, of sexist, homophobic, transphobic slurs and events, and all this stuff posted on their website. And they're consistently threatening students. Yesterday they bring somebody onto campus who promotes the killing of our people. We protest visibly there, and we get beat up and arrested for it. This is the context of how things happened yesterday. My shoulder is still in pain. My wrist is still in pain. You know, the same way Raul's neck is still in pain, I'm sure. But more than anything, our hope in our administration defending us is what's really hurting. At this point, I can honestly say I have zero faith in the MSU administration protecting their students, and I have absolutely zero faith in DPPS doing the right thing. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Lauren. I'm from El Paso, Texas, which is right on the border. And I have actually encountered Chris Simcox. He's been to El Paso. He's caused problems there. So me going there and going to protest against him because what he is doing is not fair. My family is Hispanic, and yes, I don't look like I am Latina, but I am. So, being targeted by the police because of being there and protesting what he has to say, just even if I don't look it, like really hit home because, yeah, I'm not a typical Latina, and it wasn't fair that most of the white people that were there were not getting arrested. So.
Hello, I'm Gabriella Alcazar. I was arrested yesterday after protesting Chris Simcox being here. I just wanted to give a personal account of my questioning to the authorities. I was arrested, and I was never told what I was arrested for until I was given my ticket when I was leaving the police department. I asked many times. I had every cop answer me, I don't know. I don't know why you were arrested. I can't tell you. I was in the police car, and that's when Lauren came in. And I was asking the officer who was driving, and the door was still open. We weren't going anywhere yet. And I asked her, can you tell me what my charges are? And she did. She said she didn't know. Okay, I understand. She was just a driver. But I don't know his name, but a police officer that was there while I was being arrested said, take these girls in, and we'll figure out what to charge them with later. This came out of his mouth. I was enraged that I was sitting in a cop car in zip-tie handcuffs. I was taken to the police department, put in a cell, and still nobody could answer me why I was being arrested. What were my charges? I was just at a protest, protesting something that I deeply I don't like Chris Simcox. I don't like the Minutemen. Kind of like everybody else, I have ties with my family. My parents, I'm a product of illegal immigration as well. And it just hits home, and I just want to know why I was not told, why I wasn't treated correctly, and why I was targeted being brown. I was never...
Your rights, baby. You deserve to know what you did.
Yeah, I deserve to know, and nobody would tell me. Nobody would tell me why, and it was just very faulty of the police department and the MSU administration, and I'm very disappointed.
Yeah, I really don't have much to say other than I was arrested as well. I don't want to speak too much on it because my lawyers have advised me not to. But I do want to say that I'm not involved with any of the student organizations that are here today. I don't go to Michigan State. The only reason I went to the program is because I saw it in the Lansing State Journal, and I thought I would attend. Then from there, I was arrested. So you can take what you want from that.
Real quick before I give the mic back, I just want to say there was an isolated incident that occurred this morning. There was a gentleman at the protest yesterday who was wearing a shirt that said "Raise your hand if you're in favor of gun control," and he had a Hitler was on his T-shirt, and on the back of his T-shirt there was in favor of mass killings, etc. And his name is David Garlock is his name, and to protect the student who was targeted this morning, this man who was at the protest yesterday with this shirt on was on her street outside her house, and when she came out of her house, he winked at her and kept walking, and so she chased him down, and he ran, and that just gives you some perspective and context to the seriousness of this situation.
So as you've heard through personal stories,
yesterday Michigan State University demonstrated that they not only tolerated but supported people who are racist, use racial slurs, are racial profiling their students and community members, and then MSU tolerates ethnic intimidation. And not only tolerated it, but the university officials will watch as their students who actively participate in their university are racially profiled, handcuffed, put in headlocks, and then dragged out without being told what their charges are. And we want to know, why is Michigan State, as we're standing on the administration building, what are you going to do about the racial profiling and the racist actions that happened yesterday? Because we refuse to be silenced until we get answers and until you respond to us as to why you are supporting a white supremacist organization. Today, we are coming here not only with a press conference, but with a list of demands of what we want the university and the police department to do, and we refuse to back down until we receive all of those demands.
First and foremost, our demand on this list is the immediate removal of all charges from people who were arrested yesterday. Our second demand is that we want compensation for the victims of the arrests and the brutality. We are also asking or demanding the immediate removal of college Republicans and Young Americans for Freedom, as we all know, are nationally recognized as hate groups. Our next demand is that we are demanding a point of inquiry committee made up by the university and its students to talk about and address why all 5 of the students that were arrested were Mexican, and also why all 5 of the people who were arrested were used with excessive force during their arrest, while white students were by using the same actions and at the same protest and were not arrested. We demand a public apology on behalf of MSU police and administrators who were not only there, but who also let Young Americans for Freedom be a registered store organization on our campus, and college Republicans, and exactly why they brought this hate group or this hate person, Chris Simcox, to come to our campus. Our next demand is that we're demanding an explanation as to why the MSU police and its administrators lied to the students and to the public into saying that the arrests and the removal were because they were shutting down the event. Meanwhile, the event continued for more than an hour with only white participants inside who were protected while they were using racial slurs while people were being removed. We want to know why the administrators and MSU police pretended that the whole event was going to be shut down while only the people who were protesting the event were removed, and the 2 rows of YAF and Young Republicans were left comfortably sitting in the chairs to participate in the event. We want to know why you lied to us.